Like there was culture and real tradition in Cuba. All of that has been lost. You know,
Mm.
people in Cuba don't even know why we celebrate certain things or what is the right way of celebrating certain things. I see
Right.
people, going to weddings on jeans and sneakers, and it's like
Yeah.
we even lost the culture of dressing well. My grandfather
Mm.
was always a very well dressed man, you know, from the times of Benny Moré. They used to confuse him with Benny Moré because they resemble each other. And suit and suspenders and
Suit and
ties and
tie.
hats
Yeah.
and you when you see a lady you take your hat off, and we talking about things that are lost right now. People don't
Mm.
even know how to dress anymore. We lost that. We lost a lot of dignity, of having dignity
Mm.
on ourself and our self appearance and things like that. So that's why I believe that our work is also so important. I know when I walk into a building, I'm not just representing me, I'm representing a nation, because
Mm.
most likely I'll be, especially up here, I'll be the only Cuban in that building. So I
Mm.
need to know how I behave. You
Mm.
know, there is a lot of misconceptions when it comes to Cuban women too. So I have to clean that up. It's my responsibility to clean that up now. So it's a lot. It's big. It's big. It's a lot. So
I'm there
yeah.
with you. My grandfather, he to this day he tells me the stories of back in the day. He was about 18 years old when the revolution happened, so he lived a good part of his life, pre-Fidel. So he tells me the stories of how my great grandfather went to Sears and he bought the first color television that came out. And I was like, wait, Sears? There was a Sears in Cuba? He's like,
Yes.
bro, there was everything in Cuba, you know?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, man.
McDonald's. They had McDonald's and everything because my
They
abuelo
had
tells me.
Yeah, yeah. They had what you call it? I remember him telling me the story about that like they used to have American cars there before the cars would even come out in the United States. The cars would be in Cuba already. He used to tell
Hmm.
me. I remember him telling me a story about that. At some point in the 50s, I think Cuba was like ranked number like the most prosperous nation in Latin America. It, it's
Yes.
it's it's crazy stuff. Like it went from one extreme all the way to the other. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Bringing it back to this friend that I was telling you about, that I met with her today, that she just came from Cuba. And it's like I even told her, I'm like, you're gonna have to learn even to cook, because what you call cooking in Cuba is not cooking. So
mm,
here you're gonna have to learn about real spices, things that you don't even know that you could use to cook and season and flavor food. And I said to her, one thing I said to her is, which I don't think it happens as much when you stay in Miami. I said to her, try it all. Try it all. Try everybody's food, Hindu food, Ethiopian food, African food. Try everything. Open up yourself. Don't say no
mm,
to anything. Just try it all. You know, I'm like, you've come too far to stay stuck with the same stuff.
mm,
Explore, 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 open up, try all the cultures, sit with other people from all the cultures, learn from
mm.
them, see why they do certain things, and just try it all. I believe that me being in Guyana, you have Hindu culture, you have Muslim culture, you have the Christians, you have the
Interesting.
Aboriginals. They call Amerindios, that they have their
Mm,
own little culture too. And you have a lot of Chinese immigrants there too. So you get exposure to all of that. You get exposure to all of that. I think a lot of the times we Cubans, we are so afraid of the unknown that we stay stuck, in our
mm.
own little things. Um,
True.
and it's like, come on, like we could try something new. We can try something new. Everything don't need to be chicharrón.
Right.
so,
I feel you.
so
There's a I don't quote him much. I mean, I respect him for his accomplishments, obviously, because he's done a lot in his life. I don't quote him much just because politically I'm not with it. However, he's a very accomplished person. Jay-Z said in one of his songs, how's it go? Oh my God, you've changed. And he says, you think I've come this far to stay the same?
mm,
And it's like, yeah, he's on point. I've come
Yeah.
really far in my life. You know what I mean? How do you expect me to come this far and do this much and accomplish this many things and grow this much as a person to expect me to be exactly the same as I was 10 or 15 or however many years
Yeah.
ago? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course I've changed. You're exactly the same. And that's not a good thing. If you're exactly the same as you were 5, 10, 15 years ago, there's an issue. You're not growing as a
Yeah.
person. You need to
A
be
lot of people
growing
get
and
caught up in the
evolving.
comfort zone,
Oof.
you know? They get very comfortable, okay? And I believe if you want to be successful, you wanna do different, you wanna be different, you wanna experience different, you need to expose yourself, even if it's a little scary. Expose
Mm,
yourself to that. I was telling my girls, my followers and stuff, but they're like, "Oh, I want to date a successful man. I want to make sure that I date a successful man." And I'm like, "Okay, if you want to date a successful man, you want to meet a successful man, are you going to the places where successful men go?
mm,
Because you cannot wish on a star and stay home. It's
mm.
not happening. Unless you're trying to date the Amazon Prime delivery guy, then stay home. Fine. But if it's like, in Spanish we say ponte donde capitán te vea. Okay, you gotta
Yeah.
go and expose yourself. So where they go, country clubs? Okay, get a country club membership and go to the country club. Where they go,
Mm,
upscale restaurants, go and sit, even if it's at the bar and have one drink. You know, dress the part. You're not gonna find a successful man with the hood nails with the like come on, dress the part, act the part, and just we gotta learn to code switch. That's the word.
mm,
We have to learn to code switch. But sometimes when we code switch, people, they accuse us of te desteñiste, como te desteñes, especially in our culture, right? So and it's like, no, yo no me desteñí. I'm code switching. Okay? When it's time to get
mm,
down and dirty and dance salsa and con chancleta conga, con chancleta palo, I'm right there, number one. But, but when it's time to sit at a table with business people and have business conversations and stuff like that, I have to be able to do that too.
mm.
So,
You got to be
you
a
know,
chameleon.
it's necessary,
You blend into
unfortunately.
the environment. Yeah. No, it's super necessary for sure. You got to measure. You have to be able to measure the temperature in the room, and
Hmm.
instead of being, you can't be a thermostat and expect the room, the temperature of the room to match you. You have to be more like ice. Ice melts or it freezes depending on the temperature. That's you got to be
Hmm.
like water. Like Bruce Lee says.
Yes, 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 yes. I like that. I always tell people that stay fluid.
Mm,
Stay fluid like water. Stay vibrate, like, move. Sometimes, this is how I am, and I'm proud to be like this. And there's nothing wrong with that. But, sometimes when you want to get some stuff, you're going to have to be able to code switch and,
mm.
until so you get what you want, and then you continue being proud. There's
One of
nothing
my
wrong
favorite
with that.
authors. Yeah, no, 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 for sure. One of my favorite authors is Robert Greene. He's written a few books you might have heard of: 48 Laws of Power, 32 Strategies of War,
Yep.
The Art of Seduction. He's a
I read The
genius,
Art of
hands down.
Seduction. Yeah.
The day I meet that man, I don't even. I'm not even gonna know what to say. I'll meet him one day, as a fellow author. I'll get up there one day, and when I'm a New York Times bestseller. Anyway,
That
so
call it like it already happened.
of course, of course.
Now that I'm a
So
New York Times bestseller, I'll set up a
oh yeah,
meeting with Robert Greene. Oh, that sounded great. Amazing. Yes. Speaking it into existence.
he'll be a guest on the podcast one day. Yep, you got it. So he has a book. The first book he wrote is called The 48 Laws of Power. And one of the laws of power is be formless.
Mm,
Powerful
mm,
stuff. Oof.
very
And
powerful
he
stuff.
and he tells the story of so each law in that book, all his books are written in a similar fashion where he gives you all the laws that have to do with that subject, seduction, war, power, whatever it is,
Hmm.
laws of human nature. And then he gives you the law, and then he basically tells you a story of a powerful person who succeeded because he followed the law, and a successful person who failed because they did not follow the law. So
Mm,
it's very powerful. Read the book; you would
powerful
love it. It's a
stuff.
very very good
Wow.
book. Yeah.
We've been talking about tradition and stuff like that, and now that you mentioned being formless, when you are formless, you're really not holding on to anything. So,
Mm.
you're really not holding on to anything. You're
Mm.
not being determined by anything either. It will be easier for you to, like you were saying, to adapt to the temperature of the room.
Exactly. Right? Be formless
Yeah,
like water, you know?
yeah, yeah.
It's
A lot of people too stuck.
seriously.
A lot of people way too stuck in their ways. It's like, no, this is what I do, how I do things. Okay, good luck with that. How good has it worked?
Mm.
How much
It's
progress have you made?
seriously. Albert Einstein has a quote. He says, "Insanity is is doing the same thing over and over and again, expecting different results."
Yep, yep, yep. And yeah, man, it's a lot of insane people out here. Okay,
A lot of insanity
it's a
for
lot
sure.
of insane people out here, and I'm like, oh, okay. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. I had to learn the act of really minding my business.
For sure. No,
you
I'm there
know,
with you for sure. So
sometimes when they want
Grecia,
to sleep, you pass them the pillow. If they want to sleep, pass them the pillow on the blanket. That's it. You
let them
know,
sleep on you. It's all good.
that's it.
All that does when people sleep on you, all that does is give you a head start. While they're sleeping, you're working.
That's fine. And it's like, oh, okay, fine. I love being the underdog.
Mm,
Because it's like, then it's like, I'm gonna bite you on the end at the end, and you will see.